I just finished up my stay here at Ocean Riviera Paradise in Playa del Carmen. It's one of the most unexpected hotel visits I've ever had in my entire life. If you are coming to this hotel or looking at a hotel in Playa del Carmen, you absolutely need to watch this video. Okay, hear me out on this one, dude. Just bear with me. I'm not even supposed to be making this video. You know, I'm here visiting the most popular Playa del Carmen hotels, and I had this one saved until the end, and I was gonna do this one possibly, but after the first 5, I just am zapped. And just like, I'm done with it. I'm gonna use this as a staging hotel. I'm gonna make some follow-up videos. I'm gonna have a chance to relax and just get my bearings, which I need. I am barely here. I'm struggling with this sentence right now. And when I got here, I'm like, what is this place? Ocean Maya Riviera Paradise? Something like that. I had to triple check to make sure I was at the right place. I'm like, this is it. Because I'm pretty sure I booked the cheapest, one of the cheapest all-inclusives in Mexico. And at the time of booking, the cheapest adults-only option, not just in Playa del Carmen, but in Cancun as well. Like, this is super cheap, way less than $200 a night. And I'm like, this is it? Because the lobby was decent, spacious, bright, a feeling of comfort. Check-in process, smooth. And then I walked the grounds to get to my room here, and nothing out of the ordinary. It was actually a nice little stroll. They have all the restaurants in a row, palm trees lining some of the walkways. And I get up to my room here in the adults-only tower, and I'm like, okay, here we go. The spoiler is gonna be in the room. And I opened the door, and I've actually never been more shocked in my life. Now, expectations were set pretty low, but they should be for the price that I paid. And I got into the room, I'm like, what is this? Wait, what? Like, this room is large. This is the cheapest room available. This room is large. And it's spacious, and it's bright, and it's clean. And the bathroom has everything I want. It has a dual vanity, water closet, rain head shower, and a tub. And not only that, it has a gigantic window that opens up where you have survey not only of the room, but you also have some glimpses of outside. 4-post bed that's comfortable. Separate living area with some seating, which I just use as a place to store my luggage so I don't clutter my room. Balcony, and I slept amazing last night, like very quiet. Oh, and I should mention that I ordered room service last night, and I'm like, okay, here we go. Here lies the rub. The rub is in the food. And although the burger was adequate for where I'm at and for an all-inclusive, the steak that I ordered was just as good as the one I ordered at Hilton for room service. In fact, they were indistinguishable. If you would have gave me the Hilton room service steak and this room service steak, I would have never been able to tell the difference. I guess the mini bar is the worst thing about it, but I mean, I wasn't even expecting anything to be in there given the price that I paid, and at least it was somewhat filled. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to do this hotel. I'm going to have to do this hotel. This hotel is gigantic. This is not an adults only hotel. It just has a small adults only section. And I was just planning on just chilling here and making my way back up to Cancun because this trip is pretty much a wrap. And I'm gonna have to do this hotel. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I think there are like 5 pools. I don't know how many restaurants, but I'm gonna have to figure out how to do this in the next 3 days. So I think the path of least resistance is to cover the adults only section first. The campus pretty much shares everything, but there is an adults only pool, and then at some point I'm gonna go to the adults only restaurant. Yeah, that's it. So I'm outside the adults only section here at Ocean Riviera Paradise. It's called Beso. And it's quiet. It's really quiet, and it does have a sense of seclusion and exclusivity. I think that's because it's lined with all these palm trees and all this greenery. I can definitely hear the general part of the hotel, but it's faint. It's not overpowering at all. So the adults only pool is just steps away. I'm gonna get there momentarily, but I think today begins with coffee. Just finished up at Mike's coffee shop. It was the perfect way to start my day. It was nicely decorated in there. It felt like an actual coffee shop, had that modern rustic feel, perfectly decorated with the brown leather couches, and there were some books in there as well. Definitely had a coffee shop vibe. Better than the vibe though was the coffee. It was a great bean. The vanilla latte was good, but the surprise of the day was their drink of the day. It was a coconut cold brew. That thing was gone within like 6 seconds. Anyone that thinks sugar is not a drug, go to Mike's Coffee, try that eclair. It will not only change your mind on that, it'll probably change your life, period. All right, finishing up at the pool, I had one of the most naturally fun days I've had during this entire trip. I will tell you about it later, but I am hungry and I need food. I really need food. When the pool's ambiance and its energy perfectly matches the hotel, I think it makes for a much more fluid and consistent hotel experience. This pool was perfect for what this hotel is. It was perfectly sized, its style was great, its layout was perfect, great location, sun action on the pool the entire day. I thought the crowd was perfect too. Sometimes the pool felt relaxed, sometimes it felt busy, sometimes the swim-up bar was completely full, sometimes I had it completely to myself. Music in the background, not too loud, not too soft, just perfectly there. And it's always wonderful when you find fun bartenders who want to make your experience memorable. I am still confused how that one drink turned colors in the middle of the pour. I'm still confused on this hotel in general. Like, where is the flaw? Where's the rub in this hotel? Maybe the beach isn't good. Maybe the rest of the food isn't good. The food I've had thus far has been pretty tasty, especially considering this is one of the cheapest all-inclusives in Mexico. Last night's dinner was pretty much exactly what I thought it would be. In fact, from a menu perspective, it was better than what I thought it would be. They had dishes from every single region in Mexico. So from a menu perspective, it was entirely authentic. They also had a margarita menu, margaritas from different regions. You could get a Jamaican margarita, a Chilean margarita. I myself had a pineapple margarita. It was crisp and refreshing. Today, I'm really not sure what I'm going to do yet. It's still early. It could be a beach day. It could be another pool day. I'm going to figure that out later. All I know right now is that it's time for the breakfast buffet. I was a little nervous about going to the buffet this morning, and that's because I got there late. It closes at 11 and I got there around 10:30. When you get to a buffet late, you never know how it's going to go. Can you get seated? Are they replenishing items? Are the items going to be picked over? None of those were concerns at this buffet. They had some things that I've never really seen before. They had a syrup station with syrups I've never heard of, and they also had different breakfast stations from different countries. If you wanted a proper Mexican breakfast, you could do that. If you wanted a traditional English breakfast, you could do that. Overall, not disappointing at all, quite the opposite. I thought the buffet was well done. So today I think I'm going to start with the pools. There are 3 or 4 main pools just outside the adults only section. The first one is right outside the buffet. I declare today pool day. All right, that was the kids' pool, the water park pool. There were actually a couple things that I liked. The first thing was there was a quieter pool, a more relaxed pool on the other side. And also there was a swim-up bar at that pool. And I'm told there is a swim-up bar at every single pool here. So I think what I'm gonna do today to kind of spice things up, to have some fun, is to have a drink at every single pool. That was Eden Pool, pool number 2 for the day. It looked to be an exact replica of the adults only pool from yesterday. Great crowd, fun time, awesome energy. Bartenders were really lively, wanted to make you really cool drinks. If I did not have access to the adults only pool, the Eden Pool is where I would absolutely be hanging out. Right now I'm off to the 3rd pool of the day, and that is the pool that's right on the beach. I ended up liking the 3rd pool, the beach pool, the best. I think it was the most beautiful. I think it had the best location. There was not a swim up bar at that pool. I was misinformed. However, there was a bar right next door. And next to that bar was actually a restaurant, and you have an overlook into the beach area. And I'm probably gonna eat there tomorrow. Now I have major unfortunate news about the beach. I'm not even trying to think about it right now though. Right now I'm focused on dinner. I'm off to the most popular restaurant here. It's always a fan favorite, especially at an all-inclusive. Of course, I'm talking about the Steakhouse. Last night was so interesting. So I got to the Steakhouse around 9:15, 9:30. It closes at 10. And I thought I would just casually stroll in like I did to the Mexican place the night before, and oh no, not at all. It is popular for a reason though. I had a fantastic meal. I knew what I wanted before I even got in there, and that was the family meat platter. It's just a smorgasbord, an assortment of meats. They say it's for 2 people. That could not be more of a lie. It's actually for probably about 3 or 4. I ate like a wild man, like a savage, and was only able to finish half. The standouts for sure were the flank steak and then the red chorizo, but possibly even better than the meal were the drinks. The drinks at this place in general, at this hotel, are unbelievable. They're phenomenal. Mixology is everywhere, but I had the first drink there that was quite awesome. I thought nothing could top it. That second drink with mango and cranberry, I forget its name. It should be called like Pink Euphoria, Pink Nirvana, Pink Heaven, whatever it was like drinking a heavenly pink cloud. My plan after dinner was to always go to the sports bar because at 10:30 it turned into a disco party. I thought I'd show up California cool like at 11:15. There was nothing cool about my entrance, and that's because there was nobody there. I was literally the only person there. I don't see why, because the place actually had a vibe. There was great music, bartenders were fun, a really cool atmosphere, and the drinks were out of this world. They were even better than the ones at the Steakhouse. After having a couple of those, I didn't even care that there wasn't anybody else there. In fact, I was glad to have the place to myself. It turns out the place to be was actually the place I went to before the disco, and that was the silent party. Now, I've been to these silent parties before. They're not uncommon at these all-inclusives, but I've never actually been to one while I was not participating. I didn't have my headphones on, I was just strolling through. This morning I woke up and it was raining again. It's pretty much rained every other day since I've been here, which is really unfortunate because I'm here during peak season and paying peak prices, but sometimes there's nothing you can do about that. To pass the time this morning, I went back to Mike's coffee shop and I ordered one of the greatest cappuccinos of all time. All-inclusive, not all-inclusive, restaurant, coffee shop. The thing was gorgeous and delicious. And I had a lemon meringue or like a lemon cream something or other that was almost as good as the eclair from the day before. Wow, that beach was terrible. It makes the beach at Paradise look like paradise. The only thing worse than having no beach is having a beach, and it's just a complete travesty. There was one thing I did like about the beach though, and that's how the seating was kind of recessed back into the property. It was closer to the restaurant, pool, hotel area. By doing that, it kept the seating off the really narrow and small strip, lots of public traffic. And also by doing that, it kept the beach experience kind of more private, secluded, and quiet. I did eat at the restaurant by the beach, really nothing to report. It was pretty basic and straightforward. Simple dishes, they came out right away. My dinner tonight should be better in every single way. In fact, it should be the best dinner I've had. And that's because I'm off to the #1 best restaurant overall. Now, last night I went to the #1 most popular restaurant, and tonight I'm going to the #1 best overall restaurant. Apparently, it's French, it's adults only. I'm off to Blue Moon. So I would say the French restaurant is probably the best restaurant here. I would say it's a slight improvement in every aspect from the Steakhouse, slightly enhanced ambiance, luxury, menu, and quality compared to the Steakhouse from the night before. Best dish of the night was absolutely the salmon appetizer. That thing is a must. I don't know how I pulled out this trip. I just pretty much took it a day at a time, a moment at a time, and 3 days and 3 nights later, I pretty much did this entire property. Except, there's 2 more things I want to do, and that is check out the 2 best bars here. So I want to go check out the lobby bar, which apparently is the main attraction, the main social attraction, and there is a piano bar right next to it. Ocean Riviera Paradise. What are the negatives of staying here? What are the positives of staying here? And ultimately, what do I think of this property? What's my rating? I'll get to that in just a second. Let's get the negatives out of the way first. The first negative is the beach. No surprise here. It's one of the ugliest beaches I've ever seen. Secondly, the restaurants, shops, and bars here kind of open and close at weird times. And lastly, this happens quite a bit, and it's not the power shutting off, which has happened a few times today, but it is, they just don't really knock on the door. If your do not disturb sign is not on, they don't really knock and wait. And if they do wait, it's like a second. It's a very kind of discourteous knock. It's almost just like they're going through the motions, and then 3 or 4 seconds later, they're in the room. They are knocking once and then entering 3 or 4 seconds later. The last lady just entered, just assumed that it was okay to enter because my do not disturb sign was off. Okay, we got the lights back. I think that's a perfect time to talk about the positives. Firstly, it would be the food and the drinks. The food here, if it was below average, I would not be disappointed considering the price I paid for this all-inclusive. But the food for this place and for this price is not only average, it's above average. And then when you consider the price and consider it's an all-inclusive, it's actually extraordinary. I talked to a lot of people, why are they here? And the major response was the food. I'd have to think about it, but in terms of the price and the overall food quality here, I'm not sure I've experienced better food at a cheaper price. And then the drinks are amazing here. This is probably the best all-inclusive hotel I've ever seen in terms of mixology. Mixology everywhere. Every single restaurant has a different cocktail list. It's going to be different at the Mexican restaurant. It's going to be different at the Steakhouse. It's going to be different at the French restaurant. And then every single bar here has their own bespoke, unique cocktail list. There has to be probably 50 to 100 unique cocktails on this property. If you're about finding fun, creative, memorable, beautiful drinks and you're kind of sick of the same old, you know, the Pina Coladas, the Miami Vice, the Riviera Mayas, the Bob Marleys, the chocolate mudslides, the Dirty Monkeys, the Blue Hawaiians. I could go on and on and on. If you're looking for something different, if you do these all-inclusives all the time, or just have a flair for cocktails in general, this is the place to not only drink, but eat as well. Secondly, this one is a major surprise. I can't believe how quiet this property was. I expected this property to be a zoo. It's large, it's sprawling, it has over 1,000 rooms. It's a family hotel, and it's an economical one at that. And typically, these hotels are madhouses. I can't believe how quiet this hotel was. And then lastly, this should be no surprise, the value. I haven't been this amazed by value probably since my Rio Republica video. I can't believe how much you get for your money here. I paid more than double for the majority of hotels on this trip. I can't say any of them were double the experience. I did not have twice the experience at any hotel than I did at this one. The property isn't perfect, far from it, but you should not be expecting perfection or even excellence at this price. This hotel is a textbook example of never judge a book by its cover, and sometimes you never know. Ultimately, I'm going to rate this hotel a 3.5, which is a crazy score for this hotel. And actually, overall, when I think about it, especially considering its value, this might be the best hotel I've had during this entire trip.